This is the guidance film then for the lesson on the causes and consequences of the murder of Thomas Beckett. So introducing the students to the idea of cause and consequence, which they've already have been through the previous skills unit, but this time to complicate matters and to develop and show progress long-term and short-term causes, long-term and short-term consequences. Ultimately then we'll expect the students to go back and revisit the Titanic essay or any previous essay that they've written in order to review that essay for those elements of long-term and short-term. So to understand what the cause and consequence are, the differences between the two, and then apply those skills to the story. Okay, so to revisit our essay writing skills so far, the idea of collecting information, to categorize, and then to write a PEA essay. So there's our murder, and what we want to do is be thinking in terms of causes and consequences. So if we revisit the Titanic, what were the causes, what were the consequences? But in the light of this, can we then to contemplate which were the long-term causes and which were the short-term causes, and then consequently with the consequences as well. So applying the idea of chronology to cause and then we have the student, the relation between Thomas and King, how it sours. Then they introduce them to the A5 sheet that they have with the statements. Now it's formatted like a jigsaw puzzle, but the jigsaw pieces won't actually in any way be indicative of whether they are cause or consequences. Have the students read the statements and determine whether they are cause or consequence. They might also use the additional clue that the tenses of how the statements are written could well be a clue to whether it's a cause or then review. And then have them on the reverse side of the sheet identify whether they are long-term or short-term. So I believe we put the causes on the top line, the consequences on the second line, and then we further subdivide the causes and consequences into long-term and short-term and provide a key, and then identify the most important cause and the most important subsequently review the Titanic essay. So have the students please refer to my Titanic essay on page wherever it is in their exercise book, go back and annotate that essay then with the long-term causes and the short-term causes of the sinking of the Titanic.